Let us have a chat to Ami Horowitz, who is the bloke we like to talk to in the United States, where thankfully the time zone's now, it's a little more hospitable than it was towards the end of last year during the election season. He's even all suited up. Goodness me. That means you've been allowed to leave the house in New York, mate.
Yeah, no, we can leave the house. Things are moving back to normal, slowly but surely. Of course, most of New York at this point seems to be vaccinated, but everyone still wears their masks outside. They still wear it while they're running. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Can you go down to the Soho Cigar Bar for me and just say, look, I'm just having one for my mate Paul in Australia. When I can get back there, I look forward to having one there at the Soho Cigar Bar or Hudson Bar and Books. Or anyway, enough of that. Now, in Georgia, there's this voting law that they're discussing, which is, good forbid, turning around wanting things like photo ID before you can get an absentee vote. And we all know people like Major League Baseball decided, that's it, we're out of here. We're going to protest against this, despite the fact that you need photo ID to get tickets to go to Major League Baseball. But it's stepped up a gear here. Apparently, 100 different CEOs of major companies have all decided how to punish Georgia for having the same standard to vote that they have to use their own products.
Yeah, it's this whole thing, by the way, with corporations. People think that corporations are conservative, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. That's been true for a very long time. They're not. And they oftentimes don't even do what's in their best interest. They react based on what I call guilt capitalism or scared capitalism. And that's what they're doing in this Georgia case. The lies and they're lies. They're not just people just bending the truth. They're outright lies, including by the president. When President Biden says the Georgia law is, and he didn't say it's like Jim Crow, which is bad enough. He said it's Jim Crow on steroids. For those of you in Australia who don't know, Jim Crow was a series of laws in southern states which didn't allow black people to sit in the same restaurant as white people, didn't allow black people to drink from the same water fountain as white people. We've denuded the power of words. The left has taken away the power of words. And when everything is racist, nothing is racist. And that's what you see the left has done in this case in particular with the Georgia ID law and in general when it comes to racism.
But these companies, and I think it's right to start saying this, is that the assumption that every CEO, every board member, they're all old school Republicans, they all know the Bushes by first name, it's just not true. The wokeification of so many elements of our society has happened, and because even if somebody was a political conservative in their private life, because of the lynch mobs that exist on Twitter, they have to put their companies always on the right side of the mob. And the Democrats have been able to turn this into a mob, into a test of the decency of your company, which means the people of Georgia are going to be punished again, for pretty basic changes that are not about the exclusion of people. It's just about making sure one person, one vote.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Look, the whole thing is insane. You have Georgia, I love it, Stacey Abrams, who, by the way, talking about, not people like to jump on Trump about not accepting the election result. I mean, Stacey Abrams, who ran for governor and lost, still runs around with a tiara, claiming she's the governor of Georgia. So, and Stacey Abrams, she said she didn't support the law because, of course, she knew that she wants to run again. This law, with the result, this law is going to result in tens of thousands of lost jobs. She claimed that she wasn't for baseball leaving, but now we found out that baseball called her personally, had a conversation where she recommended that baseball leave. So she's a liar, not just about the Georgia law itself, about what her reaction was for politically craven perspective. So yeah, look, this is the split we're seeing in our country is it is really problematic. It is dangerous. It's problematic, and I don't know in the short term for sure. I don't even know in the medium term how we heal this divide. We certainly don't have a president who claimed he was running to heal this divide. Being able to accomplish that, and I don't know what we can do going forward. This is scary times, Paul.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Because the truth is, look, let's imagine that we divided the Western countries like ours into kind of thirds, right? There are those who are only care obsessively about the news and everything that's going on. There's the people who are kind of 50-50 and those that couldn't care less, right? They live about their life and they either don't vote or they just don't engage. What I find particularly dangerous about the types of politics that's being played here by the Democrats was, just like during the pandemic, right? If they could destroy everything, then they get to say, look, Trump destroyed everything. And then because it's an artificial restriction on demand, as soon as you remove that artificial thing, demand returns, you say, oh, look, we fixed it. Same as if all these businesses leave Georgia and then a Democrat becomes the governor and then all the businesses return, they get to look at all these people that have returned. That's the insidious nature here, where it's a little bit like, frankly, a mob standover tactic, which is, geez, it'd be a real shame if this business was on fire.
Yeah, look, you could see that with how Biden and the vaccine, right? Everything was set up by the president, not only the creation of the vaccine, but the actual structure of how it is being given out to people. And the fact that it was the states who made the decisions on how people got it, which, by the way, we all remember, Biden and the Democrats were jumping all over Trump for that decision. Ultimately, that was the right decision. That's why we haven't changed it, why President Biden has continued with it. Yet he's saying, look, now the president's out and half the country is vaccinated. I'm the one who gets credit for it. That's the same thing politically. You're exactly right. But that part is nothing new, right? The fact that a political party takes advantage of the net result, even though the work was put in by the previous administration or previous party, that's not new, and I don't have a big problem with it. The problem I have is by creating an artificial rift, particularly a racial rift, which is what we're seeing. To throw the word racism, Jim Crow, voter suppression around, when none of it is true in any real sense, that's the problem I really have. That's what really is going to lead to the downfall of this country if we continue down this path.
You're a rock star, dude. Nice to talk to you. We'll look forward to talking to you again very soon. Ami Horowitz is his name. He's from New York City.